thorn, another left turn. What am I, the thorn in your eye? It's my life in the box in front of me. Taking talk in my arms is the soul of me. You walk by, ask to see me lay face down. Come on, free your mind, buy your alibi for a dime. I'm walking on stones and glass. When I reach out my hand, I know you can't stand me for what I am. But once I had it all your only things ain't just without wings. Too much thorn, another nose gun. What am I, the thorn in your eye? Too much thorn, another nose gun. What am I, the thorn in your eye? Too much thorn, another nose gun. I'm lost again, but I gotta maintain. Too much thorn, another nose gun. What am I, the thorn in your eye?
Hello everybody and welcome to Season 3 of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series. Thank you guys so much for checking out these NR2003 races. This is some of the best work I've done to date on my YouTube channel. And here we are, Season number 3 is about to begin. Hi, I'm Levi McIntyre, aka Thrash Maniac 99, the voice of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you here to the Budweiser Shootout. Now, first, we are doing 2 races in one video. The first race is the LCQ race where 25 drivers are in this field. They're going to race it out for 16 laps, and the top 5 who finish will advance to the main event, the Bud Shootout, after this race. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a look at your starting lineup for the LCQ. Well, there's a look at your starting lineup. Jesse Setti on the pole with Larry Hagan in second. Hendrick teammates going to go at it. 2 Hendrick teammates in the LCQ, 2 in the main event. But here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys and girls. This is going to be one exciting race. We've got a good mixture of veteran and rookies in this race, as already battle for the lead, Jesse Setti in the 88, and on the bottom is Michael Norman in the 3. Let's take a look and find where notable rookies are running right now. Cassandra Renzi in the 4 car taking over that ride for Jessica Shelton. She is up here in the top 10 in the middle of a 3-wide situation with Charles Jackson and Sonny Hammond. Everything's fine right there. Another rookie we'd like to look out for is the 12 of Brandon Nichols, who's taking over the number 12 car for Austin Weiner, as Austin Weiner is going to the 22 car for Penske Racing. Another rookie to look out for is the number 14 of Eric Enrage, who is taking over for Parker Wright in that 14 car, as is 3-wide racing everywhere we see. The next rookie who is currently running by himself in the back of this draft pack is the 16 of Nick Pericles. Another rookie is Kendall Maynor, who is actually the leader right now on this field, in this field at the moment. And it looks like he's going to lead this lap. And look at this, great racing, 3-wide, everywhere. It is just really, really great to see this kind of racing go down. Another rookie we got up here who is near the back of the pack, and that's Biggie Spencer in the 36 car. And then we got a few more. We've got Larry Hagan in the number 48 car, who is the 3rd car on the high line in the draft. Another rookie is the number 61 of Anthony McCurry. And Anthony McCurry, oh man, oh wait a minute, the big one is just taking place. Oh, Gabe Williams, oh, Larry Hagan up against the wall. Gabe Williams, our last season champion. Anthony McCurry was in there, Rue McIntyre, Barney Taylor, Biggie Spencer. Oh, and then, or actually no, not Barney Taylor, that's Alex Hawkins in the 13. Gabe Williams was in there. Michael Walton, who was another rookie we were going to talk about, he was in there. Brandon Nichols, I think he got held up. Jekko Knight's back here. Zachary Fitzwater in the 47. There's Eric Burden, Nick Pericles. Another rookie we were going to talk about was Jesse King in the 54 for Joe Gibbs. Justin Talampas in the 34. There's Eric Enrage. Henrietta Fitzwater, who's back in the 43 car. There's Cassandra Renzi. Sonny Hammond, who's in the 07. Jordan Kolb, who's returning to Walmart Cup Series competition after a one-season hiatus. He is in the 38. There's Charles Jackson, who's now in his own team, Everham Mayonnaise Motorsports, in the 19 car. Ian Siegel, who's returning to Walmart Cup Series competition, running the 18 car. There's Jesse Setti, another rookie, Kendall Maynor, a rookie, and Michael Norman. Let's see if these drivers are coming down pit road, and from the looks of it, they are going to be coming down pit road to make a pit stop, get fresher tires as well as fuel, and hopefully make it the rest of the way, as we have just had the big one strike here in the Bud Shootout LCQ. We're going to keep an eye out on this and see who will be your leader coming to the restart once we go racing again. We're going to keep an eye out on Michael Norman since he was the leader coming into the pits. Anthony McCrory manages to get through it. Even though he's got some damage on his car, I think he'll be good to go. Michael Walton was in there. See who is going to be the leader. It looks like Jesse Setti. Good advantage of having that first pit stop, or that first pit stall. She's going to be your leader coming to the restart. But anyways, let's take a look at a replay to see what brought the caution out for the first time tonight here at Daytona. Well, here's a look at it. These guys were getting really, really racy up here, racing 3 wide really, really aggressively. And it looked like Kendall Maynor came down into Ian Siegel. Jordan Kolb made contact with the 48 of Larry Hagan. He comes down into Michael Walton, into Cody Hagan and Gabe Williams, and then that's where all the cars who were behind them got into it. There you see Larry Hagan was riding up against the wall, and there you see McCrory, Rue McIntyre in that 28 Haviland car. Meanwhile, while he was wrecked, his girlfriend Jessie Setti is the leader. Now, how did Alex Hawkins get into that mess? Because I'm not sure what happens with him. Oh, it looked like he got into the back of Michael Walton as he came back up the track. Right there, right in front of Alex Hawkins, who's taking over for Barney Taylor. Oh, Biggie Spencer got into there. Dylan Young actually got a little piece of that. And there you see the returning Cody Hagan, who took a one-season hiatus. He is back in Walmart Cup competition, taking over the ride. Mason Bromer won Rookie of the Season, finished second in the championship, as well as Jessica Shelton winning the Season 1 championship. Now, I don't know what happened right there. Alex Hawkins just ran into the back of Gabe Williams. I am not sure as to what happened with that. But let's take a look at this accident one more time just to get a positive perspective. As it all starts up here around the top 5. Watch the 38, the 20, and the 18. It's like the 18, or the 38 and the 20 came down to the 18. The 38 gets up into the 48. 48 comes down into the 99, and that's where it all is going to start. And the 48 takes a wild ride, riding up against the wall. Pretty much pulled off a Mike Wallace, or no, not Mike Wallace, a Martin Truex and Casey Kane right there. Some of these cars were able to drive away, some were not, but meanwhile, as we take you back up to the 88 of Jesse Setti, who is going to be your leader come the next restart, let's take you to the restart. Well, caution lights, or the lights are out on the pace car, which means we will go green next time by, so it'll be 9 to go here in the LCQ for the Bud Shootout. After that wreck, we have 5 cars out of the race, and they are Alex Hawkins, Anthony McCrory, Gabe Williams, Larry Hagan, and Cody Hagan. So sadly, those 5 cars are not going to be able to make it and have a chance to get into the Bud Shootout. Meanwhile, Jesse Setti, a rookie and Rue McIntyre's girlfriend, he is your leader, or not he, excuse me, she is your leader. Second is Michael Norman. Third is Henrietta Fitzwater. Fourth is Kendall Maynor. Fifth is Charles Jackson. Sixth is Justin Talampas. Seventh is Sonny Hammond. Eighth is Ian Siegel. Ninth is Jordan Culp. 10th is Eric Enrage. 11th is Jesse King. 12th is Cassandra Renzi. 13th, Nick Pericles. 14th, Jecko Knight, who is now in the 42 car. 15th is Zachary Fitzwater, who is now in the 47. 16th is Brandon Nichols. 17th is Eric Burton. 18th is Rue McIntyre. 19th is Biggie Spencer. 20th, and the last car in the field is Michael Walton. Jesse said he's going to try to win this race or at least finish top 5. Now remember, like I said, whoever finishes top 5 transfers over to the Bud Shootout, which will happen after this race. Right now, those 5 would be Setti, Norman, Henrietta Fitzwater, Maynor, and Jackson. But we still got, when we go green here, it's 9 to go here at Daytona for the LCQ. And here we go, green flag is back out, 9 to go here at Daytona for the LCQ to the Bud Shootout, and Jesse Setti gets a very, very good jump on that restart. And already some cars are going to try to go underneath some. Kendall Maynor is going underneath of Henrietta Fitzwater, while Charles Jackson follows up, so too does Sonny Hammond, among others. Sonny Hammond's back there. Ian Siegel's going to try to get a run going. Meanwhile, Michael Norman's going to the bottom underneath of the 88 to get the lead for himself. I can remember last season, in Season 2 during the Bud Shootout, LCQ and the actual Bud Shootout, we didn't have a caution. This time around, we did get it once. And we are now halfway through the LCQ race here for the shootout. And now we have a new leader, and that is Charles Jackson in the number 19 Evernham Mayonnaise Dodge, sponsored by Best Buy this week. Next week at the Daytona 500, he's going to be driving the Geek Squad Dodge. That should be exciting, as Charles Jackson is the only car racing for that team. He's the only Dodge in the Season 3 field. And Justin Talampas is now going to get the lead, as he's taking over the 34 car for Sonny Hammond, while Sonny Hammond, ironically, he's up on the high line in the 3rd position where he was scored. And now Charles Jackson going for a crossover move underneath of Justin Talampas for the lead. Meanwhile, they're getting pretty racy back here with 3 wide all over the place. As it is 7 to go. Yeah, 7 to go here in the LCQ. Justin Talampas trying to go underneath of Charles Jackson once again to get the lead once again. Still, anybody up here in this lead pack still has a shot. And now here comes Jecko Knight, along with Zachary Fitzwater and Jesse King up here. I noticed there were a couple cars off the pace. There's one of them, Michael Walton, who's only going up to about nearly 180 by himself, as his car was damaged too much to the point where he's not able to keep going. Biggie Spencer, who is, I'm not sure if he's not up to speed or he lost a draft, because he's getting speed. He's up to about 187. I think he lost a draft, but everybody else appears to be up to speed. Brandon Nichols is up here in this pack. Rue McIntyre, who was involved in that first caution, he's gotten his damage fixed, and he's up here going to try to go for the lead as he's the third car in line in that bottom groove. While in the meantime, Zachary Fitzwater led the lap, and now Jesse King's going underneath of him to get the lead for himself. But underneath of King is Charles Jackson with Rue McIntyre pushing him. Rue McIntyre returning to that number 28 car, except this time he is going to have he's going to have two different cars. That car that he's currently running, the old school Davey Allison, Ricky Rudd, Ernie Irvin, number 28 Haviland Texaco Ford, but he's also going to run the Golden Corral paint scheme for some races this season. Meanwhile, Charles Jackson leads the way. He came so close last season to winning a championship. He won the Talladega LCQ race to get into the chase, and he came into the season finale last season at the Todd Ring as the points leader, but due to him having an incident on track, he was not able to be your champion, and Gabe Williams came away as the champion, and Gabe Williams in this race was out of the race after getting in that first caution. Meanwhile, here comes a car who was up at the front of the field earlier, and that's Kendall Maynor in the 20. But he's coming down pit road. Oh man, I think these cars might have to pit again, or this could be strategy, I'm not sure. But Charles Jackson still leads as it's 3 laps to go here in the LCQ. Remember, top 5 advance. So right now that top 5 would be Charles Jackson, Eric Enrage, Jesse King, Michael Norman, and Eric Burton. As after Kendall Maynor went down pit road, that separated the cars into 3 different packs. You have 3 cars up at the lead pack, about 5 in the second pack, and then everybody else in the third pack. Let's go back up to Charles, and he's coming down pit road along with Norman, Knight, Fitzwater, Talampas, Culp, Nichols. Everybody else is staying out again with 2 to go, and Jesse King is your leader at the moment. This is going to be interesting to see who is all going to be in the top 5 once these pit stops finish. Jesse King leads with Eric Enrage right behind him. And there's Eric Burden, Zachary Fitzwater, and Rue McIntyre. They haven't pitted yet. But let's see if they're going to come down pit road this time, or are they going to try to stretch it out. Looks like they're going to try to stretch it out. So they're coming to the white flag. White flag is out for Jesse King in that 54 Joe Gibbs Monster Energy Toyota. Right now the top 5 would be King and Rage, Zachary Fitzwater, Rue McIntyre, and Eric Burton. There's Cassandra Renzi, who is 6th. She hasn't pitted yet. Neither has Sonny Hammond, Nick Pericles, and Jesse Setti. But everybody else behind her, and there's Jordan Culp. Oh man, this is going to get interesting. There's Brandon Nichols and Jecko Knight right there, and that's going to open up room for Eric Enrage to get to the lead. Oh man, everybody's catching him. Eric Enrage is the car up ahead, and it looks like Eric Enrage is going to win the LCQ race for the Budweiser Shootout. Great job by that 14 team. And the top 5 that are going to advance are Enrage, Jesse King, Zachary Fitzwater, who has just now ran out of fuel, Rue McIntyre, and Eric Burden. Those will be the 5 who advance to the Budweiser Shootout, as these drivers up ahead barely had enough fuel to make it the rest of the way. So that was good strategy on the part of those 5 to stay out for track position and make it the rest of the way. But you don't hear the motor going. That's because the fuel is completely out of those machines. So they were able to stretch it an extra lap and make it work. Let's take a look at your official results for the LCQ. Eric Enrage wins. Great job for him. And Jesse King, Zachary Fitzwater, Rue McIntyre, and Eric Burton will all advance to the Budweiser Shootout here coming up in just a moment. Cassandra Renzi gets 6. Great run for her in her debut race in the Walmart Cup Series. Sonny Hammond came away with a 7th place finish. Nick Pericles gets a solid 8th place finish. Jesse Setti 9th. 10th, even though not up to speed, stayed out, and that was Michael Walton. The rest of the cars that finished on the lead lap were Charles Jackson, Michael Norman, Ian Siegel, Kendall Maynor, Henrietta Fitzwater, Justin Tlampas, and Jekko Knight. And these next few cars were able to finish the race but a lap down due to pit stops. And they were Brandon Nichols, Jordan Culp, Biggie Spencer, and then the rest of the cars were out of the race. And they were Alex Hawkins, Anthony McCurry, Gabe Williams, Larry Hagan, and Cody Hagan. But congrats to Enrage, King, Zachary Fitzwater, Rue McIntyre, and Burton for all making it to the main event, the Bud Shootout. Coming up next is the Bud Shootout. Hello everybody, welcome back as we are now going to get ready to run the Budweiser Shootout race itself. Now with those 5 advancing, we had an additional qualifying session where the 5 drivers who transferred over from the LCQ got a chance to qualify, so that means they'll be in certain positions. Now with this race, we have a few drivers who are not racing in Season 3 but have a ride for this race as well as the All-Star race coming up later in the season that are going to have their own rides to run in those races. And for example, the pole sitter Mason Bromer, who won a race last season, he's in this race in the number 09 car for James Finch. But ladies and gentlemen, here's a look at your starting lineup for the Budweiser Shootout. Well, there's a look at your starting lineup. Mason Bromer on the pole with Cody Lamas in second. Interesting mixture of the drivers from last season along with 5 additional drivers who transferred over from the LCQ. So here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing one more time, boys and girls. As we got some of the winners from last season, all the winners from last season, including 5 additional. As Mason Bromer's side by side with Cody Lamas, and Bromer's getting help from Chase Oliver, who is back in the 21 car, running right behind him and pushing him, and also behind him is PJ Williams, who knows how to get it done on restrictor plate tracks. Won at Talladega, and I believe he won at M&Ms as well last season, from what I can remember. And oh man, it's going to get 3 wide, or is it? Yeah, it is, because now there's Ken Thero, who is now moving to the number 78 car for this season. And it looks like here on the first lap, Chase Oliver is going to lead lap number 1 here in the Budweiser Shootout. Let's take a look and see any other notable driver car changes, people up here. Ian Dutta right there in the number 66 Roush Fenway 25th Anniversary Ford, as he moved over to a car for Roush Fenway as a 5th car for that team in the number 66. There he is right there. Right behind him is one of those 1 race, maybe 2 race deal drivers, Austin Talley in the 39 car for Stuart Haas. Then right next to him is Brody Talley in the number 29 1 race, 2 race deal in for Richard Childress. And then another one, there is Preston Plord in the 0000 car for Michael Waltrip Racing in a 1 to 2 race deal for this and the All-Star race. There is Jessica Shelton, who is in the number 9 Napa Auto Parts Chevy racing for Junior Motorsports. Or make that Hendrick Motorsports, since it's the 5th car for that team. That number used to belong to Richard Petty Motorsports, but there was a deal in place that the 9 car would come over to Hendrick Motorsports and Jessica Shelton would be driving it, since Chase Elliott is her favorite driver in NASCAR right now. Right beside her is one of her best friends, Joshua Collard, in the number 40 in a 2 race deal. Right behind him is Parker Wright, who is in the 41 car for Stewart Haas. And then a couple of other notable driver changes. Right there in the number 31, that is Matt McIntyre in the number 31 car running up here. Eric and Rage trying to get a line going up in the high line, who won the LCQ just a little bit ago. Oh, and now we got a wreck. Kyle Matthews is around. Eric and Rage was involved. David Rivera somehow saves it. PJ Williams, Eric Burton, Ken Thero was in there. The caution is out. Preston Blord, I think, was in there. And I was just going to mention, and then another two-race deal driver is Hunter Bell in the 25 car for Hendrick Motorsports. And then another driver change is Seth Cole running in the 52 car for Phoenix Racing, teammates with the 51 of Ryan Anderson Jr. in the 52 Hershey Chevy. There is Austin Weiner, who is still with Penske, but in the 22 car. Those were some notable driver changes. Also for a two-race deal is Tommy Mooney in the 30 car. Some cars were actually able to keep it together and keep them going. And Trent Dunham somehow is your leader. Let's take a look at a replay to see what brought the caution out for the first time tonight here at the Budweiser Shootout. Well, here's a look at what happened. Preston Blord was in between Dylan Thero and Ken Thero, and he comes down into Kyle Matthews, forces him up into Brody Talley, and then other cars get in there. I saw Rivera was in there, PJ Williams, and there's right there Eric Burton gets into PJ Williams, and that's what got them two involved. Let's take a look at this again. As Preston Blord running right next to Ken Thero, they're leaning on each other. And then when they make more contact, they come down into Kyle Matthews, turns him up into Brody Talley, and there's where they get involved. Rivera gets a little bit of damage, so too does Eric and Rage, but they don't hit much of anything else, so I'd say those two are going to be able to keep it going. And then there you see all the other cars who were involved in that little mess right there. And right there, Trent Dunham clearly up at the front. But that was a look at what brought the caution out. Let's take you to the restart, shall we? Well, after that first caution, we actually have three cars out of the race, and they are Eric and Rage, Eric Burton, and PJ Williams, and one car who is a lap down, and that is Ken Thero. Everybody else still running on the track. Chase Oliver is your leader. Second is Trent Dunham. Third is Cody Lamas. Fourth is Mason Bromer. Fifth is Dylan Thero. Sixth is Parker Wright. Seventh is Austin Talley. Eighth is Matt McIntyre. Ninth is Ian Dutta. 10th is Dylan Young. 11th is Rue McIntyre. 12th is Joshua Collard. 13th is Jessica Shelton. 14th is Ryan Anderson Jr. 15th is Tommy Mooney, 16th is Chris Washer, 17th Jesse King, 18th with a buckle on his hood. I don't know how he got into anything, but Austin Weiner. 19th is Kyle Matthews, 20th is Seth Cole, 21st is Zachary Fitzwater, 22nd is Hunter Bell, 23rd is Brody Talley, 24th is David Rivera, 25th, and the last car on track on the lead lap is Preston Blord. Is Ken Thero out? He is out, so I guess they made a mistake. He's actually out of the race, not a lap down. So make that a total of 4 cars out of the race. 25 left in the field here in this Budweiser Shootout. And when we go green, it will be 16 to go here in the Shootout. Pace car is now getting ready to pull in the pit road. And there he goes in the pit road. We are getting ready to go racing once again here at Daytona in the Shootout. Green flag is back out, and Chase Oliver gets a great jump on that restart. Either that or Trent Dunham didn't get going, but either way, Chase Oliver has a little gap for the lead, but necessarily that's not good. As now Cody Lamas is going underneath of Trent Dunham for the second position. This is a great warm-up race for these guys to get prepared for the Daytona 500, which is coming soon. And now Cody Lamas going to try to go underneath of Chase Oliver for the lead. And there is Mason Bromer, who started on the pole for this race. Right behind him is Parker Wright in that 2-race deal car. Oh, wait a minute. Was that Austin Talley? Yeah, he about got spun by Ryan Anderson Jr., but they save it and come back up the track and are still going. That was a close call right there. Let's check on Austin Weiner to see if he's up to speed, and he is up here in the draft, but I don't think he's quite up to speed. Something happened to him. I believe he either got into somebody during the first wreck, or he got into somebody on pit road. I'm not entirely sure. But Cody Lamas is your leader. After a close call with Austin Talley nearly getting spun by Ryan Anderson Jr., and they kept it together, and we are still clean and green. As it is 14 to go here in the Budweiser Shootout. Preston Plord going up to about a 183. He is not up to speed. Austin Weiner, it's like he seems to be kind of up to speed, or that damage affected him, but he's not as slow as Preston Plord. Everybody else, though, is up to speed up here in this lead pack. Actually, we have 2 packs, the lead pack and then a second pack that's being led by Jessica Shelton. Meanwhile, back up at the front, Cody Lamas continues to lead. Let's take a look and see how the field currently runs at the moment. Cody Lamas is your leader. Second is Chase Oliver. Third, Parker Wright. Fourth, Matt McIntyre. Fifth is Joshua Collard. Sixth is Trent Dunham. Seventh, Dylan Young. Eighth, Mason Bromer. Ninth is Ian Dutta. 10th is Jessica Shelton. 11th is Seth Cole. 12th is Ryan Anderson Jr. 13th is Kyle Matthews. 14th is Chris Washer. 15th is Hunter Bell. 16th is Jesse King. 17th is Austin Talley. 18th is Tommy Mooney. 19th is David Rivera. 20th is Brody Talley. 21st is Steelen Thero. 22nd, Rue McIntyre. 23rd, Zachary Fitzwater. 24th, Austin Weiner. 25th is Preston Plord. Meanwhile, up at the front, Chase Oliver's leading, but here comes Joshua Collard to the bottom. Now, with this season's rookies, there's only about 12 rookies this season. Last season, we had 18 rookies. This season, we have 12. A couple of them are well known in the NR2003 community, like Anthony McCurry and Cassandra Renzi, Eric and Rage, among others. Some are newcomers to the community, like Jesse Setti, among others. Meanwhile, Matt McIntyre's coming in the pit road. This could be an indication for our first green flag pit stops for the day. Maybe the only time as well. Meanwhile, Joshua Collard continues to lead the way. And now look who's coming through the field. Dylan Young in the 2 car. Let's go and see where Kyle Matthews is running. There he is around the 15th position. Because the reason why we're checking him is because last season he won the Daytona 500. So he knows how to get it done here at Daytona. And a couple cars are coming down. Mason Bromer and Cody Lamas. But still everybody else stays out. Meanwhile, Collard has a huge lead over both Dylan Young and Trent Dunham, who are running behind him. And then Parker Wright is up here in this mix. So is Chase Oliver and Ian Dutta. But let's see if these cars are coming to pit road this time, as it's less than 10 to go, coming to 9 to go. Let's see if they're coming down this time. And some of them are, but Chase Oliver is going to stay out this time. So pretty much everybody except for Chase Oliver, Austin Talley, and David Rivera all came down to pit road. So that means only 3 or 4 cars have to come down the pit road, and there's some dust kicked up. Jessica Sheldon is coming into pit road out of fuel. She must have ran her tank completely out, and now she's coming into pit road. This is going to be very costly for Sheldon unless a caution comes out. There she is getting her service. And everybody else is coming out. And there is Talley, Brody Talley, David Rivera, and Chase Oliver, the leader, now on pit road. And Chase Oliver's going into his pit stall to get his service done. Let's go find where Joshua Collard is. There he is right there, who came out of the pits, but some actually came out ahead of him. Dylan Young, Ian Dutta, and Seth Cole all got out ahead of Joshua Collard. So I'd say, based on how they come out as far as positions, Dylan Young could be your leader at the moment. But let's check on the 21 of Chase Oliver, as there he is coming out of the pits, heading through turns 1 and 2. And there is Rivera, and there's Dylan Young, who's going 190. Meanwhile, Chase Oliver's going 130. And now he's building some speed up to get up and going. But here comes Dylan Young. I'd say they are going to bypass Chase Oliver. So Dylan Young will probably be your new leader here. But wait a minute. Oh, he's running right behind Chase, and that cost him a little bit of time. And now that opens up the door for Ian Dutta and Seth Cole to all come up here and battle. Now Dylan Young is going to go to underneath of Chase Oliver to get the lead for himself, and he's going to get it, as it's 7 to go here in the Bud Shootout. And Dylan Young is your leader. Second, Ian Dutta. Third, or now fourth, is Chase Oliver. Third is Seth Cole. Fifth is Ryan Anderson Jr. Sixth is Tommy Mooney. Seventh is Kyle Matthews. Eighth is Chris Washer. Ninth is Hunter Bell. 10th is Joshua Collard. 11th is Parker Wright. 12th is Jesse King. 13th is Austin Talley. 14th is Cody Lamas. 15th is Trent Dunham. 16th is Mason Bromer. 17th is David Rivera. 18th Brody Talley. 19th is Matt McIntyre. 20th is Rue McIntyre. 21st is Zachary Fitzwater. 22nd is Preston Plord. 23rd is Jessica Shelton. 24th is Dylan Thero. 25th, and about to get caught by the leaders, is Austin Weiner. While Dylan Young still leads, they are getting ready to approach Dylan's teammate, Austin Weiner. What's going to happen with this? Are they going to be able to go up above him? They are, and I think Chase Oliver might go underneath, but Ian Dutta gets held up a little bit. That's going to open the door just a little bit for the second group of cars that is led by Mooney and Anderson Jr. to potentially get up here and battle. And now Seth Cole goes to the bottom to get the lead for himself. As we get ready to come to the stripe to take 5 to go here at the Budweiser Shootout. Battle for second going on between Dylan Young and Chase Oliver. And there is Ian Dutta back in the 4th spot, running back here. While this second group of cars are slowly approaching this lead pack. Meanwhile, Seth Cole in that Hershey Chevy is your leader at the current moment. And as they come to the stripe, it will be 4 to go here in the shootout. 4 laps to go. As updated, we still have 4 cars out of the race. Ken Thero, Eric Enrage, Eric Burden, and PJ Williams. And Austin Weiner is the only car a lap down and still running on the track. And now it looks like they are going to probably approach at some point Dylan Thero, but Dylan Thero is up to speed. He just doesn't have any drafting help. Meanwhile, Seth Cole went into turn 1 at 196 miles an hour. Solid speed for that 52 car. Ian Dutta got bypassed by 4 cars, and now he's going back to the 8th spot. As it's now 3 to go here in the Bud Shootout. Let's go around the back and see where everybody else is currently at. As now Tommy Mooney, Chris Washer, among others, are trying to sneak their way up into this battle for the lead. Now Chase Oliver's going to try to go underneath of Dylan Young for the 2nd spot, and if he can get a fast enough run, nope, he goes up. Oh, he about turned up in front of Tommy Mooney. He could have wrecked himself. That could have been bad. As they are slowly approaching the 17 of Dylan Thero. So you got to wonder if anything's going to happen with this. Oh, Seth Cole's getting held up. And now Thero's going to come down in front of Dylan Young. But Dylan Young is going to have the advantage of running the bottom lane. So Dylan Young's going to be your leader with less than 2 to go here in the shootout. Now Parker Wright, Chris Washer, Tommy Mooney, and Kyle Matthews are now all up here in this mix to possibly get a win. Meanwhile, Dylan Young is your leader, but Chase Oliver's coming to the bottom. And now to make it 3 wide for the lead, Tommy Mooney is there. This is going to get really, really dicey here with these final laps. And now they are getting ready to come to the stripe to take the white flag. White flag is out for Tommy Mooney in his one of only 2 races he is running this season. The second one he's running is the All-Star race. And now he left the bottom open, and here comes Chris Washer, who has his teammate Kyle Matthews right behind him. Who's going to prevail as they are going to probably approach Preston Plord, though I don't think they will get to him by the time they cross the finish line. Who is going to be able to make a move? Washer to the bottom. And oh, and there goes Parker Wright. Parker Wright and Dylan Young, they wreck. And oh, Hunter Bell gets hit, so too does Ryan Anderson Jr. Oh, and we see some hard hits as a lot of cars get involved. But to the checkers, Chris Washer wins the Budweiser shootout after a wild last lap. Wow. Congratulations to Chris Washer. Great job of picking up the Budweiser shootout victory. Jesse King was one of those cars involved in that last big one, along with Cody Lamas, Dylan Young, Hunter Bell, Parker Wright, Ryan Anderson Jr., Joshua Collard was actually in that mess. As the smoke is still out there on the racetrack, Trent Dunham was in that mess. But anyways, before we take a look at the results, we're going to take a look at a replay to see what happened with the last wreck. Well, here's a look at it. It looks like Dylan Thero gets a run on the 41, and they make contact. And that's going to cause the 41 to spin and come back up in front of Dylan Young, and Chase Oliver actually got a little piece of that. And then because both of their cars being sideways, they blocked the track. And Ryan Anderson sideswipes Dylan Young, and then Collard and King get all up into this. And then there you see Lamas and Dunham getting up in this, and Austin Talley, wow. Austin Talley did a great job of getting through that. Mason Bromer, I don't think he got involved, and he got through it as well. As a lot of cars had some hard impact hits during that wreck. Parker Wright, I think, took the worst hit of them all. I think he might have. As there you see the side swipes from Ryan Anderson Jr. and Hunter Bell into the 2 and the 41. But watch the 41. Right there got hit twice. Right there, once from Collard and once by Jesse King. Mason Bromer actually did get involved in that, but we're actually going to go on board with Austin Talley because that was amazing how he got through that wreck. On board with Austin Talley. As there you see the wreck happening up ahead. Watch how he gets through this wreck. Wow. Scraped the wall a little bit, but nonetheless, unbelievable job by the 39 to get through that big one. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's a look at your official finishing results for the Budweiser Shootout. A great way to kick off season number 3. Chris Washer is going to win this race. Great job for him. Tommy Mooney so close to picking up his win here in the Shootout in one of only 2 races he's running this season. But nonetheless, great job for the 30 team. Seth Cole comes away with a solid 3rd place finish. Kyle Matthews helped push Chris Washer to the lead. He's going to come away with 4th. Great run for him. Ian Dutta comes away with a solid top 5 finish. Chase Oliver, who led a little bit early on, comes away with 6th. Austin Talley, who got through that big one, he's going to get a 7th place finish. Matt McIntyre gets a solid 9th place finish. And the highest driver who made it into the Bud Shootout via transfer spot was Rue McIntyre in 9th place. Great run for him. And David Rivera, solid 10th place finish. And the rest of these cars were able to finish, and they were Brody Talley, Mason Bromer, Trent Dunham, Zachary Fitzwater, Jessica Sheldon, Preston Plord, and then everybody else behind them wrecked. And they were Dylan Young, Parker Wright, Ryan Anderson Jr., Hunter Bell, Austin Weiner finished, and so too did Dylan Thero on the lead lap. Joshua Collard, Jesse King, Cody Lamas, and then the final 4 were already wrecked and out of the race, and they were Ken Thero, Eric Enrage, Eric Burden, and PJ Williams. Wild finish to the race, but Chris Washer comes away with the victory. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Budweiser Shootout events. We'll see you for the Daytona 500 coming soon.